Morning, guys. Um, this morning I wanted to come in here and share um, something that was put on my heart actually this morning, just as I'm thinking and as I'm um, just really just thinking, and then I wasn't really meditating, but just in my thinking time, and I wrote it down. Um, it came to me, and so I wanted to, when I get these things that are given to me and that are put in my spirit, and I know they're for a divine purpose, sometimes I have to write it so that I won't lose it, you know. And I want to share it with you all because it is pertaining to this journey. It is pertaining to understanding and being able to learn how to operate in this new 5D reality, five dimensional reality. Um, and because I know so many of us are in a place that we don't understand, we don't know. Some people don't realize that the universe and Mother Earth has even shifted. And so, the issue is that so many are having a problem with the shift, with the change. First, because they don't know what's happened. And then some know something has happened, know something is going on, and just don't know how to explain it, don't know how to operate in it, you know? And so, since the spirits and the ancestors do speak to me, since I have been on this journey, I've been awake to it, awoken to it. Um, I want to share. I really do. I want to share because I want people to get the best and the fullness out of this life and the life that they're experiencing. I mean, I don't feel like life should be just great for a few people. You know what I'm saying? I think life uh, was put here for all of us to enjoy. And so, with that said, I'm going to go ahead first of all and just read what was given to me, and then I'm going to go ahead and expound on it and break it down and everything. And it says the act of mastery never leaves you, and therefore becomes a part of you. We must begin to work on self in the form of mastery. This takes discipline and love of self. We get entirely too focused on outside forces and outside distractions, and the self-worth work takes a back seat and many times never becomes a reality. We must put self first in this new time. This new time is what I was just speaking of, this shift, this 5D reality. Why? Because it's only going to be the mastery of the gift of self that is in you and needs perfecting that is going to get you where you want to be. No one is going to do the work for you. As a matter of fact, those who know your power will do everything they can to keep you from developing. Now, um, we have been so, we've been taught, we've been trained in this system, and I've spoken on it before, not to trust ourselves. We have been taught and trained to trust everything and everybody else besides ourselves. We have, they, there are so many tactics that are used in the destruction of people worldwide by the powers that be. This is so that you won't grow, so that you would stay asleep, so that you would not seek, so that you would not grow. Now, let me explain again. Whether you want to or not, whether you know it or not, whether you realize it or not, that part of their reality and their powers are gone. That was the 5D, getting into 4D reality. That stuff is gone. We are now in 5D reality, which is an awoken state. It's an awakened state. It is a state of where you are the creator. It is a state as to where everything that you see and are seeing and experiencing and living is real, is true, is right in your face. It's nasty, it's ugly. I've spoken on this before in my other video. And you have to know how to deal with it. Basically, that's pretty much the bottom line. You have to know how to deal with it. And so this is what I'm talking about this morning when I start talking about the mastery of self. Now, because we have been trained not to think, not to trust ourselves, not to go with our intuition, not to trust everybody else, the experts, if you would, the experts. Those who've been to school, those who have degrees and so forth, those are the ones you trust, those are the ones you've listened to, and so forth. And this is the operation of this matrix. But in 5D reality, you're going to have to learn self. You're going to have to learn to trust yourself. You're going to have to develop yourself. We are divine beings. We are some awesome beings. We have abilities that have not even been tapped into yet. There's things about us as people that are outright astounding. Things like the body being able to heal itself. Things like the mind being able to heal itself. Things like foods from the earth being able to heal us. Things like stress and allowing stress and allowing negativity and those bad energies and so forth, making you sick and can kill you. These are actual scientific facts. And even without science, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. We've heard people say all the time, stress kills. You know what I'm saying? We've heard people worried themselves to death. We've heard of people dying of broken hearts. These things are actual, true occurrences that can happen, and you wonder why. But it's because we are such powerful and amazing beings. We really are the creators. I understand people who don't understand it get upset when I say that we are gods. We are creators, and we are the God that everyone is looking for. Everyone, I say it all the time. We are the God that, you are the God that you are looking for. It's inside of you. It's already there. There's nothing to seek outside of yourself. Everything is within, and everything comes from within. Therefore, we have to understand, know, and realize that it is mastery of self that is going to get us where we need to be and help us grow. As I said, there are so many outside distractions, so many outside forces. You have TV, you have electronics, you have radio waves, you have microwaves, you have chemtrails, you have all of these things and so many more, chemicals and so forth, medications, fluoride, all of these things that are destructive, that help to suppress your body's natural ability not only to heal itself, but to grow, to understand, to embrace and enlighten. I mean, there are certain chemicals and drugs that are prescribed by doctors, the real druggist, that alter your mind, that alters your reality. That, I mean, I know you all see the commercials where there are commercials of these medicines that give people suicidal tendencies. There are medications, let's just say, and I'm using an example for acne, that one of the side effects is manic depression, major depression. There are so many chemicals and everything. I mean, there's chemicals, there's everything else that I just stated before. And so, with all that being done, that's one of the things that we have to realize. We have so many things that are against us, first of all, because the powers that be and those who have been in charge and in control for so long know the power of humanity. They know the power of the mind, they know the power of the heart, they know the power of the spoken word, they know the power of creation, they know that we are creators. And so that's why there's so many things put in our way as stumbling blocks to distract us, celebrity news, you know what I'm saying? To keep us distracted, television programs, new movies coming out, and all these things. And we get sidetracked and we get sidetracked into so many other things. All of a sudden, we'll have, and I'm when I'm speaking on this topic, I'm not just talking about melanated people. I'm talking about humans. I'm just gonna say humanity. Um, but you'll hear something going on. You'll hear, let's just say a shooting. Let's say a mass shooting. I don't want to say a shooting of a black man or whatever. Let's say one of those mass shootings that are so prevalent right now. You'll hear that and you get into that and you start looking at that, and the news, of course, is going to give you half details, half truths, and incomplete stories. And you, a couple of days later, Beyonce puts out an album. Donald Trump just did such and such. Some other celebrity slept with somebody or whatever. And so it's always a distraction. It's always a distraction thrown out there for you not to focus on your humanity and focus on people. It's always something else. Um, but the point of this video is to help you to see and help you to realize that it's not a bad thing to put self first. It is not. It has been taught to us about selfishness, and you always put others first, and you put others ahead of yourself, and once you do this for everybody else, then you'll get rewards, you'll get what you need if you fill everybody else's cup up first. Okay, there is a certain truth to that, but at the same time, we have for far too long put ourselves on the back burner. We have given of ourselves selfishly. We have created, and especially a lot of this goes for women, females, women, that we sacrifice and we put everything on the line and put ourselves on the back burner. That's usually a more female type trait. Men do it too, but it's more of a female thing. You'll have a wife or a mother who sacrifices for the home or what have you. And it's just a feminine trait to take care of people, to love people a lot of times more than we even love ourselves. And the point of being able to get to mastery of self and even beginning the journey of mastery of self is that we have to stop that. I'm not saying to become totally selfish. I'm not saying to uh, disregard everybody else. I'm saying instead of sacrificing your whole life and just laying out your whole everything out for people and for everyone else, begin to help people. Instead of sacrificing for people and just completely doing for people, begin to help people and provide resources and aid material and um, guidance to people instead of you being the sacrifice. And I hope that's coming out to where you can understand it. Instead of you putting yourself and your life on the line for people and completely doing everything for people, stop that. Stop that. You become a focus. And what you do is you begin to help people and show people how to do things for themselves and begin to give people material and begin to um, show people how to do things instead of you doing it for them because it's too self-sacrificing. It really is. And the reason that I say that is because the way this world is and the way that humanity has been trained, it is not to give back to what's given to them. It's to take, and to manipulate and to use and to try to get over. That's the mentality of most people. When you sacrifice and when you give your all, usually people are going to keep taking and sucking you dry because they feel, oh, she must be stupid. They must be stupid. I'm going to get all I can get. That's the mentality. And so when you pull back from that and begin to say, okay, well, I can't, and I'm not going to give you my all, but I'm going to give you this. I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm going to help you get to here. I will give you directions. I will give you aid and I will give you guidance. But I'm not going to put my whole complete self on the line because we have been abused so much, men and women. This is an equal opportunity message right here. We have been abused for so long until self is what we need to focus on. Eating better, reading better, uh, listening to better music, getting those good, positive, uplifting vibes within us, um, beginning to reroute and focus our attention on those things that help to build us up. And like I'm saying, to some, they may hear selfishness, but that's their low energy vibrations. Don't worry about that. This is about getting you to the maximum place of where you need to be built up so that you can eat, so that you can be better for people. I mean, there comes a time in life when you are so broken, when you are so have given everything until you have nothing else to give. And so you're no good for nobody. You can't do anything for anybody because you have completely you've given it all. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the mama in the house. The mama who takes care of the husband, the mama who takes care of the children, she takes care of probably the neighborhood, she takes care of the church, she takes care of everything, and then when she breaks down and gets sick and can't do it anymore, everybody's dumbfounded. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know where their socks at. They don't know where the dog is. They don't know anything because mama gave everything. She sacrificed everything of herself, and now she's no longer a use and a help. The perfect thing to do is to teach people how to fend for themselves. Teach people how there comes a time when the mom has to take the baby off of the breast so that the baby can she begins to feed the baby. After a while, after she has fed the baby for so long, pretty soon the baby's reaching for the little spoon himself, and he wants to feed his own self. I remember, and many mothers I'm sure remember this. I know my little girl in particular, when she was little, I would brush her teeth for her. But after a while, Mommy, let me do it. I want to do it myself. And so she wanted to brush her own teeth. That's what it's about. You do it for them until they can learn to do it for themselves. You don't be a crutch. You don't be somebody's complete doormat. Because and not only is it not good for you, it's not good for them. It's not good for them to not be self-sufficient. It's not good for them. And then they're not going to be good for anybody. We have to be help to people. But as I just said, if you have nothing to give someone, what can you do? So mastery of self, mastery of understanding self, and let me go into a few little practical ways of doing that before I cut the video off. Talking to yourself. People laugh at that. People make jokes about that. But let me tell you, talking to yourself, excuse me, talking to yourself is one of the greatest things you can do. Analyzing yourself, understanding your mind, figuring out why you do this, why did that happen. There's a great exercise, and I think I talked about it in another video, where um, the little, I mean, you can go back as far as you want, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, an episode or incident in your life, a death, a tragedy, or whatever in your life. And what you do with that, sometimes these events become life altering. You're never the same after these things. Sometimes it's for the good, the good, and sometimes it's for the bad. A lot of times it's for bad. And so, say there was a death in your family. Say a beloved relative died, and it messed you up. It changed so much in your life, and you have not been able to cope, to function, to whatever the way you were at that time before they died, because it took such a toll on you. Well, a beautiful thing to do is to analyze yourself. Analyze where you were at that time in your life. Analyze what you were doing. Analyze your thoughts. Analyze your beliefs. Analyze what you, at this point in time, would tell yourself back then, because of all that you know now. You've seen your future. You've lived your life. And so you are able now to go back to that time and tell yourself, you really are going to be okay. It's just that instead of doing this, you should have done this. Instead of going over on that road, this is what should have happened. And so when you begin to make those life analyses, when you begin to talk to yourself, it helps you. You may not be able to do anything about the past. I mean, the past is done, it's over with, you can't get it back or anything. But life usually works in a cycle. It usually works in a circle. And eventually that same situation, that same circumstance, it may not be, you know what I'm saying, the same exact way, but it may be very, very similar. And how you deal with that this time would be able to change your life so much better, because now you understand. Now you see that every time I do this, or every time I go here, or every time, or because this happened in my life, I don't want such and such to happen again. So I'm going to change. I know now what I did. I know now the issue and the problem of what happened. And so you talk to yourself. Who better knows your life than you? Who better to talk and counsel you but you? You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. Um, and as I said, reading new things, um, reading everything, listening to people, uh, getting your interest peaks, so that you, okay, let me explain, because the kind of person I am, if I'm on a subject and that that subject is something that I'm getting enlightenment from, I'm understanding it. A lot of times you'll have other resources given to you, other books, other authors. It may be something else on that subject that you want to go deeper and look into. A lot of times things are not just one way. A lot of times there's many divisions of things. And so once you are on this path, you might say, well, you know what? I want to go a little bit deeper and I want to understand this a little bit more. And so you do that. So you do that. But as I said, I'm going to cut the video off because I don't want to speak too long and I don't want to confuse anybody. But we have to get out of the mindset of working on ourselves, developing ourselves, and trying to be better is selfish. It's not. You don't put everybody else first. You put yourself first so that you can be better for everybody else. It's not a bad thing. And so you do, even eating has so much to do with this. Eating good food, eating proper food, eating those things specifically designed for you and your health and your um, condition in life that is going to help you. Everything isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people may need um, I don't know, more sage in their life. Some people may need more mint, more rosemary. I mean, all of these herbs, all of these plants and cucumbers and watermelon and all of these things have different traits and powers that can heal you. Take, for example, somebody has high blood pressure. Well, things like watermelon, things like cucumbers, things like, I'm going to say even cantaloupes, those watery, very, very watery type fruits and watery vegetables are going to help you with your high blood pressure because it's water. It's that water in your body is helping to hydrate you and helping to regulate your blood temperature and your blood, the things in your blood that is going to help you. I mean, that's one of the things, as I say, you have to begin to do the research on things, on eating, on what's good for you. Um, Healing your mind, opening up your third eye, beginning to listen, beginning to just very simply, when you hear the voice that, you know what, I should probably put on my red jacket today. And it just crossed your mind and you, nah, I don't really want to wear red. I'm going to wear something else. Okay. Later on, you find out from whatever situation in your life that you should have went ahead and wore that red jacket today. Because it was a little still small voice that tells you and that gives you direction that a lot of times we ignore. I had a real simple little issue with the coffee pot. Now, something had told me that morning, I was at the sink and everything, and something that told me you need to go ahead and, just kind of wash out this coffee pot or whatever a little bit. And I said, I don't feel like it. I'll do it later. Well, later on, there became an issue with the coffee pot. And I was just like, it wasn't no big, bad, horrible, blown out issue. But I said, you know what? If I had took 2-3 minutes and washed out washed out the coffee pot, um, the situation that happened would not have happened. But as I say, it's a learning process. It's a journey. It's a growing process of learning to listen to yourself. And a lot of times that happens with me. I will get something in me, something in my spirit, I will hear something, and I should go that way. I need to do that. But I choose to do something else and I get totally off totally the wrong way, and I have to wind up coming back and going the way I was supposed to go in the first place. It's about trusting self. It's about trusting self. So this is the art of developing self, of mastery of self. You know, we master so many things in this life. We become proficient and efficient at so many things in this life and in this world, and we put ourselves on the back burner. So many of us don't even know ourselves because we don't sit down and take time to get to know ourselves. There are so many different things that many of us have not even explored that we might like if we just get exposed to it, if we just sit down and begin to discover. Somebody brought me uh, African jazz. They exposed me to African jazz. I'm just like, man, that stuff is awesome. And it's not just one artist out there. It's a few African artists who play jazz and sing jazz. And I'm just like, that was something I had never even thought about. That was something that never crossed my mind. I love jazz, but it just never hit me that there was some African jazz out there, and these people are singing in their language, their native language, and it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. So I learned something. I didn't close myself up. I didn't say, nope, one thing I want to hear is some American jazz. I don't know them people. I want to hear about so and so. That's who I know. That's who I like. That's who I listen to. It's about exploring, and it's about being open. It's about welcoming. It's about welcoming other things into you, into your life, into your realm. Not being so closed up, not being so closed minded. Well, I've done this for 50 years. I don't know no other way. I don't want another way. That's limiting. That's so limiting to yourself, and it's not fair to yourself. I mean, there's a whole world out here for us to enjoy, and things that are so undiscovered until you need to discover them. You need to know. You need to understand and grow. You are an awesome person. As I begin the video, as I said, we are awesome beings, and we are so expansive. We are so complex, even. We are very complex, and we don't even know ourselves. But we call ourselves masters of things. We judge people and profess to know other people and other people's heart. You ever had anybody ever tell you, I know you? You don't even know yourself. How could you possibly know me? We are so complex, as I just said. And we need to self-discover. We need to find out who we are, what we like. We might find out we might like living in Taiwan. We might find out we might like living in Bangkok. We might find out we might like traveling to the rainforest. We never know because we never get out of our circle and out of our neighborhoods and out of our um, the community and the things that we know and those things that are familiar to us. Because, like I just said, we don't explore. We don't explore self. So, you guys. Hope I made myself clear. I really hope you get something out of this. Begin to work on self and learn yourself and know yourself so that you can be the best and the greatest version of yourself. So, you guys have a great day. I thank you for listening. I thank you so much for subscribing. If you have a question or anything like that, you can email me. You can put your email down below if I can help. I'm here. I'm available. I am no expert on anything. Like I said before, most of the things I get are given to me by the spirits. They're given to me by the ancestors. Um, and so, it's a beautiful gift to me. It's a beautiful gift to me that I'm even entrusted with these gems, these precious gems that are given to me and that I'm able to share with you. So you guys have a great day. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.